I have a question for you. How many of you are tired of nonprofits taking and using huge amounts of donations for non-mission related expenses? This is the very reason I decided to create Mall of Hope, a 501c3 nonprofit created on the idea of a nonprofit that will not use more than 10% of donations for upkeep. This will ensure that 90% actually goes to the missions that the nonprofit has decided to tackle. Another issue that weighed on my mind in the development of the concept of Mall of Hope is the fact that all of these nonprofits out there have not really found an ideal solution for the issues we face. Now, I'm not referring at all in any way, shape, or form to nonprofits that deal with medical stuff like cancer research and such. Instead, I am referring to the countless nonprofits out there claiming to want to help with poverty, homelessness, starvation, addictions, employment, job development, veteran assistance, and every other category out there, including environment and animal protection and assistance. I am specifically targeting those who are not putting at least 80% of their donations to the actual problem they are claiming to support. Even more so, I'm saying that the nonprofits out there have pushed me to create this because it became so apparent we will never see a true solution as long as we are narrow-minded. Yeah, you can run a nonprofit and you can tackle one issue and be content, sure. However, the issues we face run into three circles and not just one situation. So why are we trying to focus on the individual problem when the solution to healing the wounds is to focus on them as a collective? I implore you to fight back and help us make Mall of Hope the solution that's true nonprofit dedicated to the public, the environment, and the living regardless of human, animal, fish, and such. To prove my point, let's take a look at the following sample. A person is hardworking and for whatever reason they lose their job. Could very well be the company goes bankrupt. Then this person tries to find work and is unable to. Now this person has three options. Give up and become homeless, keep fighting inside what bills to pay and become delinquent on while still searching, or go down a dark path with drugs and hard life. So how many types of nonprofit problems have we just identified? The answer is drug addiction, homelessness, starvation, maybe veteran needs assistance if the person serves, needing help with employment, and poverty. That is just to name a few. So they can go to several locations, one for shelter, one for food pantry, one for this, one for that. But is that really the solution? In my opinion, I do not believe in this as a way to solve the problems we face today. With Mall of Hope, we have many solutions to problems we face today and one to bring to the public, but just need backers to make these all possible. You can go to Mall of Hope to learn some of these basic plans without throwing out too much detail. Given that we want to ensure that the missions are handled appropriately, but I do not mind giving you one tip right here and right now. What would happen if we took and had a plot of land? On this land we had housing for homeless. The homeless would be able to get shelter, and also with the land we can use it to train them in three categories of workforce. First category, manual labor, where they help to farm the land to produce food for the food pantries and the needy. Second category would be customer service related, such as food, retail, and so forth. Then lastly, we end with the third category, mind-taxing stuff like web design or other jobs that require a lot of critical thinking to do the jobs. Now we are helping them to not only build up their resume, but also making it so they can find out where their strength lies best. And let's incorporate having on-site drug addiction and psychological assistance programs. Now let's pretend that we took and helped 5,000 homeless through this a year consistently. Now let's say that out of 5,000 we get 3,200 new lives going. Now when I say new lives, I am referring to one apartment being rented and the bills of living separated. I will not include the other 1,800, but what if they decide to get an apartment with someone they met while in this program? As well as, what if we have those who just prefer to not get back into the working environment as well? So, we have to be fair on this assessment. So with these 3,200 new lives going on, and if the typical living cost runs at least $1,500 a month, that means that $62 million dollars a year would be going into the economy more than had this system not been implemented. Now, it would be reasonable to make it an even $100 million if we factor in the potential possibility of higher living expenses as well as the other 1,800 having some living with the others and paying for their own food and increased utilities. Now let's take a look at this. If there is another $100 million going through the economy, would this not mean that there would be more jobs for people who handle the power grid and sales, or customer service workers in the food industry and such? So let's say for every 20 people who now are dropping out in normal life expense, that one person is now able to find work. That means that now we have another 160 working opportunities in the various industries that we did not have before. And then from that 160, we now have another potential 90 to 100 between those who we did not count and those who ended up finding work because of those who are now working. This is just one basic outlook at one potential solution to one of these issues we face, being homelessness, and how we can tackle that issue to solve starvation and food shortages. Now we have other solutions, such as fighting poverty in Africa while helping to clean up the world's trash and being able to reuse what is thrown away. A modified restaurant design to enable the hearing impaired to work and run a restaurant. A modified mattress concept that mattress companies could utilize with existing formats of their mattresses to cut down on mattress landfills and waste, helping to save planet and environment. Then we have solutions on a way we can use desert sand instead of normal sand to make construction materials, so we can stop using the non-desert sand for items other than helping to build up our ocean lines of sand for beaches and such. Then we have a solution for graveyards to help prevent them from becoming abandoned or running out of burial space as our population grows. How about a platform providing animal assistance for struggling families who are struggling to take care of an operation for a pet? Obviously, some of these ideas are just ideas, but we need to iron out and find out if it's possible and to go through all the proper channels, but you get the idea. So please help us make Mall of Hope a new nonprofit that can guarantee 90% of donations go to charitable solutions that will actually solve the problems we face tomorrow and today. No more putting a band-aid on problems, instead let's start healing the wounds.